officer at reachiv.com. We provide premium education and careers advisory. Our experts work with students all over the globe and help them crack top universities and careers globally. Today, I'm happy to have with me Catie from the Darden School of Business. She's the Assistant Admissions Director currently. Catie, would you like to tell us a little about Darden and the program?
My pleasure. Nice to interact with all of you out there on the interwebs today. My name is Catie Yeilding and with the Darden School of Business. So it's a program with the University of Virginia in Charlottesville, Virginia. And we have several different degree programs. So the first one is the MBA, the 2-year residential program for candidates. And we also have an executive format as well that has 2 different pieces, executive or global executive for working professionals. And we have a new 1-year master's in business analytics program as well that's also for working professionals.
Awesome. So, Catie, being able to pick the right program is crucial in today's day and age when there are so many programs, which students have the option of applying to. So who should be applying for the business program at Darden specifically?
Great question. I think for the purposes of today, we'll talk more about the general MBA program. So most of my answers will apply to that. For who should apply, I think those who are looking to be future business leaders in the world at large. So you can have a wide variety of backgrounds. You can be an engineer, you can be in finance, you can be in consulting, entrepreneurship, family business. There's no limit on the types of backgrounds that one person may have who is deciding to think about an MBA. But I think there's a common goal of they want to advance to be leaders within different industries when they graduate. So regardless of skill set backgrounds, the MBA is going to focus extensively on general management skills. So you're going to take classes from everything from accounting, operations, global economics, leadership, ethics. So everyone's going to get a broad, different background of classes before they move on to the next stage of their professional careers. But in terms of who we're looking for candidates who had some work experience and are ready to leverage their early education, their postgraduate education perhaps, and their work experience so far in moving towards the MBA degree.
Great. So can you share with us what qualities you're looking at specifically as regards your incoming class?
Sure. There's no one type of person. The application is a holistic review. There's not going to be any quality that trumps another quality, but there's also going to be a wide different variety of backgrounds. We are looking to build a class of students who have a lot to learn from one another and share with one another. So we're going to be looking for indicators that you're somebody who is ready to continue learning, who's going to be an involved learner, an experiential learner, someone who is going to be curious about the world. Do you have questions? Are you willing to listen to other people's experiences and answers about those questions? These are the types of qualities, the softer qualities we're looking for. It is an MBA, so you need to have some ability to be successful within a quantitative field. So we're going to look for evidence of that in things like your undergraduate performance. Doesn't mean you had to be a math major, but it does mean that we're going to look to see that maybe there's some proof that you can handle the rigor of an MBA curriculum. In conjunction with that, we're going to look at things like test scores that can also help us understand your ability to be successful within the classroom environment too. And then we're going to review your work history, the types of experiences you've had there. Have you been able to take in on leadership roles with the places that you've worked so far? What are the things you like to do outside of the professional realm? How do you spend your time? What are the different dimensions to who you are? And then we're also going to look at things like your reference letters that help us understand a little bit more about who you are and what you've accomplished from somebody else. Get somebody else's point of view on where your strengths lie. So those, I think the areas where we look to learn about candidates are also areas reflective of the admissions process too. The other big category would be like the interview. That's our chance to really get to know you. And it's also your chance to share with us what you think is most important that we know. The Darden Interview is notoriously an open format, and that you get the space to craft sharing a bit about your background with us. And so use that time wisely to share about who you are, what you've done, and what you're looking to do in the future. It sounds easy, but I think the MBA application process gives people a real opportunity to do some introspection and think about those answers for themselves as they put together answers that they want to share with the admissions committee too.
Thank you. So, our students always want to know program highlights and how they're going to gain from an MBA or the course they're studying currently. So what, according to you, are some of the most interesting classes or faculty which you'd like to share with us today?
It's so hard to narrow down. So Darden is an experiential learning program. It's reliant on the case method to a large extent. A lot of your first year classes in particular are going to be case-based classes. So all that means is you're going to look at real business problems and work through how to deconstruct that problem and make decisions about what should happen next. Maybe the assumption that you put together is different from the one that the company actually took in the end. But it's a way of analyzing problems and thinking about how you can approach similar business problems in the future. So that Darden classroom environment is really like a laboratory for working through problems and figuring out next steps. So you're going to get the chance to do that, and all the core subject matters across the first year, and then after those core classes finish, after the third quarter of the first year, the rest of the curriculum is a lot more open and elective based for that fourth quarter of first year and all of second year. So at that point, you can craft maybe some more individual paths for the things that you would like to learn over the remainder of the time. But there's all sorts of fun classes. You can do things like a product development class. There's even like an acting class. So you practice those presentation skills through that. And then you're going to take your business areas. If you want to be an investment banker, you're probably going to need to take valuations. But the whole thing is meant to continue to be interactive in nature, team-based, and collaborative. So lots of fun opportunities there. And then you can do things like our Darden Worldwide courses, which go all over the globe, and you get class credit to do that. So you can go to places like Argentina and study the wine industry, provide consulting services to wineries there, or you could go to Normandy and walk the paths of the historical events that happened there, thinking about some of the leadership decisions. Or you could go to China and think about the different types of economies that exist around the world and meet with business leaders all over the place. So we really encourage students to not just have their education based in the Darden classroom, but everywhere. We actually have a new scholarship at the school. There was a $30 million gift to the school earlier this year that is earmarked specifically for global education experiences. So all Darden students now have the opportunity to spend time outside of the country, continuing their learning while they're in the program at no additional cost. So a really exciting development, and one that hopefully all students will take advantage of in this next year.
Awesome. So, there are lots of students looking at pursuing cutting-edge careers post taking a course at Darden. So what are some of, say, the faculty or other resources available on campus to students looking at such cutting-edge careers, or maybe a student looking at pursuing entrepreneurship while part of the program?
I think a program like Darden is perfect for many different types of candidates, but especially if you want to do something a little different, that we're going to give you a skill set that's going to allow you to be that creative thinker and leader in many, many different directions. And we want to help provide you that support while you're a student too. So you can do things like take design thinking with Jean Litka, who's one of the leading experts in that field, or effectuation classes, all of those sorts of classes that are really going to support you if you want to move in the direction of building your own business, being a future business owner. The entrepreneurship at Darden is one of the top in the world. The Batten Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation supports all of that activity, so several different areas to it. One would be that coursework, taking classes that are going to help you learn the subject matters around entrepreneurship. The second is they have a research area to what they do, so that they're continuing to put out leading work in the fields of entrepreneurship and innovation. And the third would be the more interactive elements. So say you want to build up your own business, you can apply with your business idea into our iLab, our incubator program, which is a year-long program with an intense time during the summer that earmarked specifically to build that business. So say you come up with a great idea, you get admitted to the iLab, you're going to spend that summer between first and second year getting to use the student resources to build that business. So you get paid, you get a stipend, maybe you hire a classmate who can help you out with your business too. Not everybody has to go it alone. You get legal services through the University of Virginia Law School. You also have mentorship opportunities with leading entrepreneurs who live in the area. So Charlottesville is a very entrepreneurial city itself, in addition to all the other resources at the University of Virginia. A top VC company city for the U.S. It's the fastest growing VC city in the United States, and according to the research from 2016. So it's a place where there's a lot of people also thinking about ways to build new businesses, do new things. And so you're going to find a lot of support and interest in helping other people do the same as well. But say maybe you're interested in kind of the venture capital space and say, how do I get that direction? Or I want to be a business owner, but I need to know a little bit more about this field at large. We actually have a program through the Batten Institute too, the Batten Technology, Batten Venture Internship Project. Check me on the exact name. And you have the opportunity to interview and be hired by a VC firm that has a relationship with Darden, and then be placed in one of their portfolio companies. So it is an incredibly unique opportunity. If you're thinking about how do I step into the tech space, how do I join, maybe an earlier stage startup, this is a good way of kind of understanding what that space looks a little bit more like. And also, if you see yourself going more in the VC direction in the future, you get a taste of both of those things at once. So, and then more broadly, just to zoom out a little bit more towards that technology space, technology is the fastest growing career interest area at Darden, the direction that most people wanted to go this past year. And so there's a lot of resources on the school side with the learning elements of what happens in the classroom, and then also on the career support side to help students find a good match for career interest that are within the technology space too. So it's a popular direction these days.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. There's actually a lot of stuff going on to support students who are looking at cutting edge careers or working side by side. They actually have first-hand experience.
Yeah. Our goal is to be a partner with you in that we want to help you reach those goals of yours. So the best way for us to be able to support you is for you to have spent that time doing the research about why you want to go the direction you want to go, what interests you, what do you need to learn to be able to do that, and then come ready to business school for us to jump in together and help you be able to get there.
So, a lot of students out there who have joined us today are very curious to know what a typical day at Darden would be like. So, what would you share with us about this?
Sure. First year is going to provide ample opportunity for you to stretch your limits. You're going to spend most days, maybe you're going to live close to Darden. Most students do in walking distance. So Charlottesville is a beautiful place to live. So you walk on over to school a little before 8 o'clock. You're going to probably pick up some coffee or tea from the PepsiCo Forum on your way. And all students in the first year go to class at 8 o'clock. So we're going to have 3 classes a day, Monday through Thursday at 8, 10, and 11:45. So you go to class. And then after that first class, you get a little bit of a break. We have what at Darden is called first coffee. So everyone takes a break between the first and second class and joins together in that PepsiCo Forum. If there's announcements being made, maybe there's a student award given, or perhaps there's a student club that's hosting events that week, they're going to share more about that. You're going to have a chance to grab coffee or tea. If it's Wednesday, we have croissants. Our dean lived in Belgium for many years, and that was one of the things he was most excited to add to the first coffee experience was the Wednesday croissant. And so you have a chance to unwind a little bit. You're going to talk to classmates. If it's recruiting time, maybe you set up 15 minutes to talk to a second year about what their internship was like that summer at a company you're interested in. And then you're going to head on back to class, finish off the morning with 2 more classes. And then the afternoons are a little bit more open at Darden. So if you are in the recruiting stage, you're probably going to go to a company briefing to learn more about a specific company, or maybe you have some more one-on-one appointments. You could stop by your faculty member's office to ask them questions about one of those cases you did earlier in the morning, chat more about that. Or maybe it's just you need a little time to unwind. You go home, you have lunch with your partner, or you go for a run, whatever it is that you need to do to take care of yourself, keep yourself going. And then students will spend the late afternoons, early evenings working on those cases for the next day, starting in on the material for the next day, and then they'll meet up with their learning team. So Darden has a format where students work with 4 or 5 other classmates of theirs on learning teams throughout those core classes. And so they're there to support each other, help each other out, work through the cases together, challenge each other on the material they're learning. So learning team gets together, maybe you build a model for your decision analysis class the next day, and then you're ready to go. So you'll head home after that full Darden day, and then do it again the next one. And so Monday through Thursday looks a little bit like that. But we provide plenty of time for fun too. So by Thursday, you're ready to unwind. A lot of our different clubs will host what we call cold call on Thursday nights, where they'll share a little bit more about their club, but also have time to enjoy each other's company and a little social time together. And then there's also always a bunch of social activity going on the weekends, whether it's UVA athletic events or parties that Darden is hosting, like the 100-case party after you've completed your first 100 cases at Darden. There's all sorts of stuff. So students find a good opportunity to find some balance in the work, but we want to make sure you really get to maximize your full days and the learning and the fun too.
Great. So another thing a lot of students want to understand is what type of assistance or support do they get in terms of chalking out their complete career path? And for students who would like to say return back to India, what type of support or mentorship would they receive through the program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So once students are admitted, we have all sorts of resources available to them starting at that time. During the summer before they enroll even, they're going to have opportunities to have one-on-one conversations with members of our career development team that are going to work with them in helping craft their plans for as soon as they arrive. We want to do the best we can to give you those resources as early as possible, because we know that 2 years runs fast, and we want to be able to support you from as early as possible in that process. So maybe it's saying, okay, if you want to go into investment banking, you may need to rework your resume to be a little bit more like this. That's something you can do in the month of July. And then you'll be a little bit more ready to go by the start of school, or encouraging you about what the path is going to look like for the networking for the potential job you want, so that when you get to Darden, you're a little bit more aware of what's coming next. And then those early months at Darden are going to be a mix of, you're going to work with your career advisor from the career development team, you're going to work with a second-year coach, so a second-year student who's in a similar career area as your interest. And so they're just a year ahead of you. They get to provide that mentorship and guidance and say, this is how it worked for me last year, or this is what I would advise you to do in this situation. So again, kind of creating a team of people to support you. And then we have all sorts of career clubs. So if you want to go into general management, you're probably going to join that GMO club. If you want to go into consulting club. And they can provide kind of the bigger picture areas of telling you the latest trends within the industry, or they'll do mock interview days, things of that nature. When it comes time for all of the different company briefings and networking events, they're going to help you understand a little bit more about what to expect when you get there, so you can prepare for those conversations. And then getting you through that final phase of interview.
Yeah.
and doing the mock interviews and the other interview prep activity leading through. So our goal is to provide you guidance to help you reach your individualized goals. You're the one who's customizing your future, not us. We're here to help you do that, help you get there. But the expectation being that you're starting to figure out what that is going to look like even before you arrive. For students who are coming from outside the U.S. or who have goals of finding employment outside the U.S. afterwards, which many people want to do, then we have several career advisors who are going to be more specific to working with candidates who want to go on that path. So they can provide guidance, help you know a little bit about the differences within the recruiting process in different countries, and what opportunities that Darden already has built out with different companies that are looking to hire in non-US offices as well. For those who are looking to go to India, return to India, give you a lay of the land of what currently exists and some guidance and how to really leverage the Darden network. That's a huge part of the career piece is, who's in your future alumni network that's excited to help you reach your career goals too. One of the things I strongly believe is it's quality over quantity. Darden has about 16,000 alumni in all corners of the world, but they're no use to you if they don't help you out, answer the phone when you call, respond to your email. Darden alums are known as being some of the most responsive, that they have had such a phenomenal experience, learning experience, educational experience, that they want to share that with other Darden students as well. They want to share more about how it has helped shape their career and help them. And so they're going to answer your questions about that potential job. And so I think if you're, depending on the country you want to move to or the industry, then you're really going to want to make sure that you spend time leveraging that network, building out relationships, and learning about opportunities in different places too.
Perfect. That's great to know. So also wanted to understand in terms of financial aid, what are the options for international students and who would your ideal candidate be for your scholarship program?
Okay, well, let's talk about two different sides of that. One would be all of our merit-based scholarship, and the other would be your financing for any other expenses, loans, all of that stuff. Let's talk about scholarships first. So Darden has a phenomenal international loan option, partner with Discover, the credit card, and our students, our international students can borrow up to the full cost of tuition, full cost of attendance to attend the program, and Darden acts as your co-signer. So you don't need a US-based co-signer to do that. It's pretty rare, and a great opportunity for students that we have a real commitment to making sure that money isn't the reason that you don't come to business school. And so part of that is providing a loan that allows you to do that. So that would be side one. The scholarship side is probably what you're all gunning to know more about too. And Darden does have a number of merit-based scholarships for our candidates who demonstrate their strong abilities to succeed within the future MBA experience. So we look at things like your work experience, how well you're doing there, your undergraduate grades, those pesky test scores, GMAT or GRE, all of those things are taken into consideration in addition to things like your interviews. So we're really looking to be able to provide that merit-based aid for the strongest possible candidates. We have some specific scholarships for candidates from India, so something that everyone's eager should perk up in here. And then we're really excited to share more about, we have the Jefferson Fellows program at Darden. It's our most elite scholarship competition. And so students who want to be in consideration for that must apply by our early action deadline in September. And then you can go online and read a lot more detail about it, but it is meant for the top candidates, academic and professional backgrounds to have the opportunity to attend the university. It's a full scholarship, tuition, fees, living expenses, travel stipend, incredibly exhaustive and elite opportunity for those candidates. And for the first time, we're being able to expand that to a global audience. So we'll be able to have students or applicants participate in that competition, which will be in person in November, and from all different corners of the world. So if you're interested in that, go online, read more about it. Let us know if you have questions. We have a number of other elite scholarships as well that can fit in that same category, our other presidential scholarships. Also the Batten program, there's a Batten competition scholarship program for those in entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology. So if you think you fit that description and want to be able to share more, both for the Jefferson and the Batten, it is a competition, and so there are additional steps you have to take. For the Batten, there's some additional information within the application. You answer an initial essay. For the Jefferson, it's more exhaustive than that, and so there's a little bit more to do there. For the rest of all of Darden's scholarship opportunities, you are automatically considered for any for which you are eligible at the time of application. So we will let applicants know about their admission and their scholarship awards at the same time at the end of each round. So we strongly believe in making the program as affordable as possible, and part of that is having robust scholarship programs that we are able to award to our most competitive candidates within the application process.
Brilliant. So any final words of advice you'd like to share with our viewers and our students today?
Yeah, do your research. Learn as much as you can about the programs that interest you. Darden has phenomenal opportunities for learning and experience, and top teaching faculty within the world, best educational experience in the world. Those are things that you value, that you want out of the program. Then you learn more about them so that you're ready for the conversation. You can share more about that in the application and interview process. I think that's true across the entire MBA research process. Is learn as much as you can so that you can figure out what's going to be the best fit for you personally. Darden's set up in a way to help many different types of people succeed, but I think there's some real commonalities to who wants to be there. People who are curious, innovative, thoughtful, want to be future leaders. Those types of qualities are going to come across many of our students. So see what the different programs are that are going to help be a good fit for you. We're here to help you succeed, to help with your personal and professional growth. And we want you to be able to find a place where you're going to be able to do that at your best level.
Awesome. So Catie, thank you so much for joining us at Reach Ivy today. It's been an absolute pleasure interacting with you, and I'm sure you've addressed a lot of questions our students would have had about joining Darden.
Thanks. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for spending a little time with us online today. Have a good one.
Take care. Bye.